Excuse me. Hey, this is Coach Flanagan here. Today we're going to be talking about some one-on-one pass rush. So what I'm going to use for my examples are cut-ups from the 2013 Senior Bowl. If you look right here at this link, all I got was from YouTube. It was from Senior Bowl practice a couple years back. And a lot of these cut-ups are from a former number one overall pick right here, Fisher, for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then another pick over here, a first-round pick, Kyle Long, for the Bears. So they have successful careers, and you can see some good and some bad things that they do. So when you look at these cut-ups, I want you to look at the bottom up, good and bad examples. When I mean bottom up, we're starting at the feet and we're working all the way up to the shoulders. So when you start at the feet, I really want you to look at their steps, what kind of stagger they have, the placement of the weight. Is it on the inside or the outside of their foot? And then when you look at knees, whether they bend their knees, are their knees inside their feet or outside the feet? Are their knees opening up or are they staying square? Also look at the hips. So are they high hips or are they low hips? Are they sitting down? And their hands, are they striking? Okay. Are they leaving the hands back and they're not timing up their punch very well? And the placement of their hands, are they outside or inside? Okay. And then also look at shoulders. Are the shoulders staying square or are they going to open? So everything you do, you want to take some mental reps and think about what you could do better if you're in that situation. So you want to learn from the bad and at the same time imitate the good. So we're going to look at this clip right here. So this clip is really short, and right away you should be able to see if the pass set is good or bad. And the reason why I made this clip so short is I just want you to look at the right foot. You should be able to notice within a fraction of a second whether that's going to be a successful pass set or a bad pass set based on his first step. And this is also Kyle Long. He went number one in the first round for the Bears a couple years back. So he's a good player. He's had a lot of success with the Bears. Okay, so think about that. So now we're going to look at the bigger clip. Next slide. You can see right there, I call it opening the gate. So I'm going to pause right there. His steps and his knee start opening. Instead of taking a step at a 45, which should be right about here, he is taking a step and he's just opening his foot. Let's look. Right there. See how his shoulders are opened up? So he's swinging that gate open. They're not square. Okay? They should be on this kind of line with the line of scrimmage. And his feet should be right here. Instead, they're perpendicular. See right here? They're perpendicular with the line of scrimmage. And all that guy's got to do is barely even touch them. He's just got to run around them. Right there, just easy swim. Sorry, easy rip move. Just got to be a somewhat fast guy and just be able to do a rip move. Pretty easy. Kyle right now is just beating himself on that play. So right there, you can tell how important your first step is. That's going to make you whether you can be successful or unsuccessful. That first step didn't give him much of a chance. Okay. We're going to look at another example. Now this is Fisher from Central Michigan. He went as the first overall pick overall in the draft. So look at his feet. Okay, see he has a good stagger. His shoulders are square from the start. This guy's a wide rusher. So his step, the quarterback's right there. He's got to cut this guy off. The easiest path for this guy to the quarterback is a straight line. So Fisher's got to intersect that line. He's got to get in between the rusher and the quarterback. Let's see how he does. All right. See right there? His shoulders are relatively square. He has a good step. He's not just opening up the gate. So right there, you can see before he is getting in the way of the rusher. So that path of that rusher is right through him. He's got to go through him now. Now he can adjust. He sees where the rusher is. Now the rusher, if he wants to beat him, he's got to either go around or this way or inside. He's got to slow down. He's got to change direction. Unlike long earlier, where the rusher basically just took a straight path to the quarterback with a simple rip move. And really, he didn't even have to do a rip move. So let's look at Fisher right here. He's just going to keep on taking that path. Okay? So, right there. He's just staying in the way of the quarterback. That's all he's doing. Good. He's getting his hands on. See how he has his hands, and he's putting that hand outside and just going to keep on driving him by. The quarterback's way out there. Good feet, quick feet. And the shoulders are staying square as long as they can. And he's good. Try and get the hands on. His hands aren't perfect, but they're pretty good. Nothing's ever going to be truly perfect. You're going to try to be perfect, but it's going to be hard to get there. Let's go to the next clip. Just think to yourself right now, what went wrong? And you can see, I'll freeze it. Initially, he has good feet, good placement. But you can tell right there, he is leaning forward. He's leaning forward. And that's not good. You want to be sit down. His hips are high, and his chest is in front of him. Right there. He just stops his feet. On contact, he's going forward, so he has no choice but to lean forward and duck, and the guy's right by him. So he's leaning forward and stops his feet right there. So these guys are top prospects in the nation. You don't get invited to the Senior Bowl if you're just some Joe Schmo. So even these guys who've been working on footwork for a long time can still improve the footwork. You see this guy right here. Okay. So take mental reps. What does he do wrong? Look at that first step. It's big and slow. You could say he's oversetting the guy. He's transferring his weight to his outside. It's not staying on his inside foot. So he has a really tough time recovering. Let's go. Right here. So right here, this is the center's outside. That side is the outside. This side is the inside. So his weight needs to be on the inside foot. That step needs to be quick and right down. And since he's snapping with his right hand, his left hand right there needs to go on the inside and tack that defensive tackle, that nose tackle, right there and clamp on. So that way, if he crosses his face, which he does, he has some time to recover. And his weight's on his inside, so he can transfer his weight very easily and change direction. See how he just oversets. He transfers his weight to his outside, and the guy jumps back inside. Small steps. He took a big, slow step. Okay. So look at this guy. This guy's from Iowa. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You can see right there, he has quick steps. His weight's on the inside of his foot. He's active with his hands. He tries to get his hands on, and he's battling constantly. He doesn't take big steps, small steps, and quick steps. Small, quick. He tries to keep his shoulders square as long as possible. He's staying in front of the guy. We'll look at his initial set real quick. Right there. See how right there, that step he's taking? He's trying to cover up his inside half of this defender right there. That's what his aiming point is. So that way, this guy goes inside, he's got him. No way that's going to happen to this guy. So all that defender does, has a choice to do, is go outside, away from the quarterback, and that's fine. Good. Good, quick feet. Right there. One thing you could do better is this guy's getting inside hand placement. Right there, his hands are wide. Out wide, it should be going hands tighter inside and just try to get onto his chest right away. And we'll show a good example of that later. But overall, because he has good feet, he has good position on the guy, he's in a good shape. So you don't have to be perfect in every spot, but you got to be good for the majority of things to win those battles. Go to the next one. This is a good example. Look at what goes wrong for this guy. Just think about it. Take that mental rep. So right here, he's in pretty good position. It's not perfect. You know, his stagger is a little back and his feet are a little bit close together, but that's minor issues. He's in great position. His shoulders are relatively square. They're not open. He's in position. This guy has to go through him. So when this guy, now look, when the guy adjusts, what happens to his feet? When he adjusts right there, his feet stop. And the guy just simply does a quick swim move, and he's around him. His feet stop right there, and he's around the corner. If this guy would have kept on going on this angle instead of trying to stop this angle and got to about here, it's still a 45-degree angle. This, and just got his hands on his chest. Look at that chest. Oh my goodness. He's given it to you. He has given it to you. This guy is a great player in college. He wouldn't be invited. So even great players are giving people their chest. It's almost impossible not to give your chest because when you pump your arms, you naturally open up your chest. And if you want to be fast, you got to pump your arms. Given that chest, he just stops his feet. At least make them bull rush you. Okay. This is Fisher, again from Central Michigan. Let's look at his feet. Wide rusher. So you can look right there. His step is still at a 45. I mean, not might be exactly a 45, but it's not straight back. Okay, we'll look at later when he goes straight back what happens to him. It's about a 45, okay, give or take. But he's getting in the way of the quarterback and the defender. This guy has to go through him. Okay, his options are either to run around him or go through him. He cannot go in a straight line. If you know anything about geometry, the quickest path to one thing is a straight line. Also, if you change direction, you're slow down. So defenders do not want to change direction or take a long way. Those are bad things if you're trying to get to a quarterback fast. Good feet overall. He just runs them past them. Good position. Look at his feet. Look. Are they quick, small steps or are they big steps? He doesn't take huge, giant kick slides. He takes small little steps so he can recover. He's in position. He's balanced. Let's look at this guy. I want you to think about the good and the bad things about him. So right there, it's a little big step. It's a little bit of a big step. But overall, he's trying to get in position. You can kind of see he's ducking his head a little bit. But I want you to look at his hands right away. He doesn't do a bad job because he displaces the guy with a powerful strike. His shoulders are not square, but his hands are so powerful and the strike's so powerful, this guy doesn't have much of a chance. Yeah, he beats him eventually, but it takes 3 or 4 seconds. The ball's going to be out by then. And he's run all over the place, and if this is a game, he'd be running into somebody. Right now, he'd probably be running into the defensive end or something like that. And the guy recovers pretty well. Not great feet, shoulders open, pretty bad. But what he does do is a great job with his inside hand and just displace the guy, strike him. Goes from low to high. Bam, right there. That's bench press. Let's go to the next one. Take mental reps, what he does good and bad. As centers, you always want to fight to get in front of the guy because the quarterback's right behind you. So initially, let's freeze this. Does a great job with his left hand. You can see that right there, going low to high and striking that guy. Okay? His feet are pretty good. But after that, it doesn't go so good. So you got to have everything. So after he strikes him, see how far that foot's off the ground? That's not good. That means he has big steps and his feet are slow. Quick steps, and he just stops his feet. He doesn't keep on fighting to get in front of the guy. Great position. Just keep on fighting to get in front of him. Get your face mask in front of his face mask. And he stops his feet. So look at this guy. Oh, good things and bad things. So right there, his foot's pretty high, but what he does do a great job of is getting his hand underneath this guy right there. And that's enough to shock the guy. If you get your hands on the guy's chest, more times than not, your job will be taken care of. Move your feet then. Everything will be great. So these guys, I'm going to say it again, are college football players. And they're giving these guys their chest. So if college football players are giving offensive linemen their chest, I guarantee high school football players are giving them their chest for you to take advantage of. Here. Stops his feet a little bit, then recovers. Does a pretty good job of recovering. This lets the guy bull rush him a little too much. But it does a great job of locking out. Hey, so let's look at Fisher. First overall pick. So this guy, he's got to think about angles here. The quarterback's back here somewhere. So the path to the quarterback is this line. So Fisher has got to get in front of that. So if he gets in front of there, look how much room he has. Now if he gets in front of him here, straight back, okay, he's still intersecting that line. Look how much more room you give him. So if you know anything about speed and acceleration, the more room you give a runner, the faster they are. And the faster they are, the more explosive, the more force they can deliver to you. So if you're backing up and you give them a lot of room, like this way, they're going to have a lot more speed to come at you. Compared to if you just get onto them as quick as you can, at correct angle, then they're going to have less time to gain speed and be more explosive and push you back. Let's see what happens to Fisher and his feet. So this step right here, he starts his foot around here. Okay, and then his steps are right here. So that line is pretty straight back compared to if it was earlier to about here. So let's look at the difference, what happens to him. Look at his chest. Is it pretty high or low? Is his hips high or low? His feet look good. His shoulders look good. And look at his hand placement. What happens? See, he gets high and gives him this chest, and the defender just rocks him back. Boom. That defender's probably getting 4 or 5 steps in the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. maybe 5. He's pretty quick. So if he's getting 5 steps in the ground, that's a lot of speed he's gaining. Compared to if you get on top of him before his 3rd step, you're going to stop a guy who's bull rush pretty fast. So look at this guy. One thing about this guy from Iowa, he has heavy hands. When I say heavy hands, I mean he strikes, and when he strikes, he delivers a blow. It's obvious right here. He takes the guy's helmet off. No? He kind of turns his shoulders at the end, but he's so strong, and he has such heavy hands, and he really sits down, he's able to hip toss the guy, which I wouldn't want to do because you could hurt somebody or you get called for holding. Right there. He's leaning a little bit outside. He's a little higher than the guy, but he has heavy hands. He has such a good strike that he's able to get away with stuff like that. So he's not perfect, but it's good enough to get the job done. Heavy hands. Right there. He covers them up right away. The guy doesn't have much of a chance. The next. Okay, that's Coach Flanagan. And if you want to, you can go back later to the beginning of this, and there's a video right here, and I'll post the slides later without my commentation. I just want you to understand, to take mental reps, to learn from other people, understand angles, position, understand about your feet, the knee bend, hips, hands, shoulders, all that stuff coming together, be in a great position to be a great pass blocker. Okay, thanks.